Hello everybody, welcome back. For today's short video, I'm doing a verse explanation coming from Romans chapter 9. So, like I said, this verse comes from Romans chapter 9, verse 15 through 16, which says, "For he says to Moses, I will have mercy on whomever I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whoever I will have compassion. So then, is it not of him who wills, nor of him who runs, but for God who shows mercy." So, this verse means that God can have mercy and give salvation to anyone he wants to, and he can harden the hearts of anyone he wants to as well, because he is God and he's the ultimate being and creator of all the universe. We cannot put our fleshly expectations of God saving every single person on this earth, since that's not how God operates. That'll be us operating of our own examples and our own things that we want to do, not what God wants to do. So by God essentially by hardening other people's hearts is not essentially saving everyone. It shows his wrath and demonstrates his glory, because everything God does is for his glory and for the edification and build up of his kingdom. That's why God hardens who he hardens, and he gives salvation to who he wants to have salvation. I can support that claim by verse 21 of Romans 9 through 23, which says, "Does not the potter have power over the clay from the same lump to make one vessel for honor and another for dishonor? What if God, wanting to show his wrath and to make his power known, endured with much longsuffering vessels of wrath prepared for destruction, that he might make known the riches of his glory on the vessels of mercy which he prepared beforehand for glory? Even whom he called not of the Jews, but also of Gentiles." So truly, this verse means that through God hardening our people's hearts and sowing salvation to people who that he wants to, it shows how deep and how gracious his mercy goes. This just shows how exclusive the faith really is, because Christ died for people who actually believe in him. He didn't die for people who don't believe in him, and the people who don't believe in him are not just going to be gifted salvation, because if that would be the case if God's wrath wasn't abiding on those people already. So that's why God has to have wrath abiding on people, because in order to inherit the sacrifice of Christ, you have to believe on the sacrifice. You're not just gonna magically get it one day, even when you're not believing in him. You have to actually believe, take up your cross, and truly follow Christ in order to have that love and that God has towards all of his children and become an actual child of God. And God's wrath only abides on sinners and only on people who do not believe in the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. So that's why repenting and believing in the gospel of Jesus Christ can make you inherit the love, the beautiful love of Jesus Christ, truly. And remember, God's love extends to all different groups of people. So you have to know that God is calling you and take that call. Peace.